preview.
Age of Wonders 3 is at its best when you're locked in glorious battle. From flanking bonuses and line of sight to magical research and the industrial infrastructure of your empire, every detail in this turn-based strategy game contributes towards making the battlefield as complex and rewarding as possible. Outside of combat, the game's managerial aspects are kept to a minimum, which keeps Age of Wonders 3 moving at a fast clip and frees you up to focus your attention on the action. Each game of Age of Wonders 3 begins with you taking up the mantle of a mighty hero, such as an elven sorcerer or dwarven theocrat, and guiding your people through conflict to prosperity. Before you can get in conflict, however, you're going to need cities to produce your army. Cities are the backbone of your empire, as well as one of the game's main objectives. Victory in Age of Wonders 3 means protecting your capital city while defeating the enemy's hero and capturing his or her capital. Cities are largely self-sufficient, requiring little more than your input on which buildings to build. Your recommendations determine which units the city can produce, and whether those units come with free upgrades from specialized structures. Once your army is on the field, it's time to explore your kingdom. Each of the game's procedurally generated maps comes packed with treasure sites, such as caves or abandoned temples, for you to stumble upon. These sites are usually protected by packs of bandits or monsters, both of which are great for testing your newly minted army upon before challenging one of the game's main players. Regardless of who or what you're fighting, your army is always gaining experience and leveling up. Basic units, such as archers and knights, earn flat bonuses to their stats as they move up in rank, while your hero units earn skill points, used to either increase their stats or unlock special abilities. When you feel your army is ready, or are caught by a surprise attack, it's time to wage war. When you engage another army in battle, you are transported to a more intimate arena that's separate from the world map. The fighting takes place on a hex-based grid, which could contain trees or boulders, or even city walls in the case of urban assaults. Using the terrain, your skills, and every other tool at your disposal is paramount to victory. Rushing headlong into the fight only gets you slaughtered. Woven between the combat and empire building is the research tree, where you research new spells and technologies for your people. It's one of your most powerful assets, but also one of the most unpredictable, as most of the tree is randomized at the start of the game. Depending on which research options you have available, your strategy throughout the first half of a match could vary wildly. Regardless of the class or race you choose to lead, your rise to glory will likely begin in one of the game's offline modes. 2 campaigns serve as a good introduction to the game's mechanics as well as its mythos, while the scenario and randomized map modes are great for just wailing on the AI. When you're ready to take the fight online, however, you may experience some hiccups. On 2 different machines, I encountered connection errors with the developer's servers, which prompted me to seek aid through the developer's website. And should you find yourself in a similar circumstance and aren't already well versed in firewall port forwarding, you may find the developer solutions woefully underdeveloped. Online foibles aside, Age of Wonders 3 is still a well-crafted strategy game that doesn't let itself get bogged down in needless busywork. Some smart elements of randomness help keep you on your toes after multiple sessions, though you may find several go-to strategies still apply regardless of the sort of army you lead. Age of Wonders 3 is the welcome return of a long-absent strategy series and a tactically rewarding game.